Welcome to the Just Gimme the Mic show, and I am your host, Debra CoCo. And if you do not know about Just Gimme the Mic, what we do here is highlight positive people doing positive things throughout our communities and worldwide. And we strive to bring you the best interview experience that there is. So again, I want to thank everyone for their support. And what I would like for you to do is sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Relax and enjoy the show, everybody. Thank you again for your support. Hello, everyone. Good evening. I am Debra CoCo, your host for Just Give Me the Mic. And today I'm excited. Well, y'all know every week, every time I do a show, I'm excited because I always bring you some great stories and some good information and good music. And what else is there out here, right? So today I'm excited because I have two guests that have both started out their careers in music. And now they have branched off into different lanes. So my first guest is Treston Irby. He's from the legendary group High Five. And he is now an author of his book Hiatus, right? And it's the story of, it's a Treston Irby story. Treston Irby story. Let me say that a little slow and back it up a little bit more. But before we bring him on, I definitely want you to check out the trailer for his book. And then we'll bring on our guest, Treston Irby, y'all. Check this out.
The hardest thing about writing an autobiography is telling the truth.
So welcome to the show, everyone. Treston Irby.
Thank you. What's up, y'all? What's up? Hey, CoCo,
Hey,
what's up?
yes, what's up, Treston? You know,
I'm good, man.
I met you in person like a couple of years ago. I've been around. I've seen the group perform. I've seen you do your thing. I've interviewed you, right? Live at so many different events. So I'm excited for you for this new venture on writing your book and everything. So how you been?
I'm good, man. You know, blessed and highly favored, working it out, getting past, getting through it, writing this book and putting it out there is something new for me, but I'm excited. I can't wait for everybody to read the book and let me know their feedback. And it comes out June 29th on my birthday. And I'm just excited, man. I'm over the top, man. I'm over the top and nervous at the same time.
And nervous at the same time. Because from what I could tell, right, from your video, and from what I read about the excerpt from the book on Amazon, is that you really dug deep with this, right? Like you tell us some things that you may not be too comfortable with telling, it may seem, right? It's like the raw truth.
There's a lot. It's a lot of things that I'm not comfortable talking about that I put in there. That once again that's where the nervousness comes in at. I'm like, that I give them too much. You know what I'm saying? When I was writing the book, my intentions wasn't to hurt nobody.
Right.
So it's like it's not done intentionally, but it's my life and it's my view on my life and things of that nature. So I really wasn't trying to do anything malicious or say anything malicious or anything like that. But it's that type of book. I had to keep in mind that I also telling other people's truth too. You know what I mean? So I didn't want to do nothing like that. And I changed names in the book, all kinds of things.
Being thoughtful.
Yeah. And like I said, I did dig deep the deepest I ever dug in my life.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just I don't know, man. I can't even believe. I still couldn't even believe that I did it, man. I can't even believe it.
Oh
It's
my
like that.
gosh. Well, why? How did you come up with the title of the book, Hiatus? Like, what does that represent for you? And how did that encompass everything that you wrote in this book?
Man, because that's where it happened.
Mm-hmm.
That's where it got real. That's where it happened. And during that untimely hiatus is where you got a chance to see who's in your corner, who's not in your corner, and how to survive and doing certain things to survive. Um, being in
Because
the
your life
industry.
changed. Your life changed. It's like a car pulls up to you in the Bronx, right? It's like, look, come with me. Next thing you know, you're in Texas, right? You're
Hmm.
singing with a group and you're going through traveling all over the world. And then next thing it's like the music
Boom.
stopped. Right.
Yeah. What
What?
do I do? Whether I go? What did I learn? During those times, coming in the industry, you just really did what you was told.
Hmm.
Nobody was really learning anything unless you went through something.
Right.
Otherwise, like nowadays, like you got the youngsters coming in, they learn from mistakes that High Five made. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Said we're not
Right.
going to do that. But when we came in, we didn't look at it like that. We were just so happy. At least I was just so happy to be part of something that I wanted to do that I really didn't pay too much attention to things I should have.
Right.
And
No,
I
you
didn't
was
pre- and I
definitely
didn't prepare.
fortunate. How old were
Yeah,
you at the time when they actually approached you? In the Bronx,
16,
I may add.
yeah, 16, man.
Wow. And you're right. They didn't have all these shows like now you could watch the new edition story or this story and you could see like all the pitfalls and all these different artists that came out around that time, including
Mhm,
your group, how y'all
mhm,
what y'all went through. And they could
mhm.
avoid some of those challenges, but y'all was like the pioneers of it. You didn't
Right,
really understand. It's like, you see a contract and you're like, okay, well, it looks good to me. You know what I'm saying? You're not really
right,
sure of all those little nuances and everything that you need to have protected,
right,
in your regard. So, and you learned
right,
that as you went through, through it with the
right.
group.
I
Okay.
definitely learned that, and didn't realize how much I've learned till the
Mm-hmm.
hiatus came. Um, but some people don't understand that. When you at a mid teen, early teen, and you go into show business, your life changes.
Right.
It's different. It's more fast paced. You got to keep up with what's going on. And you see a lot of things, and a lot of people come at you, and if you don't have the right people in your corner, to protect you, then you could fall victim to the industry. And there's
Right.
people that have fell victim to the industry. And I felt myself falling victim to the industry as well. And when you read the book, you know, you'll be able to see where I started to fall victim, um,
Was
and
that early
everything.
on in your career, or did it happen gradually as you started, getting older and trying?
But
Because I know the group was trying to get a lot more control of what was going on around them. Y'all was also in a rebellious stage. It was just a lot, right? It was a
yeah,
lot going on. So, how
it,
did you feel like your transition was trying to deal and handle with all those different things as they were coming to you?
I mean, what I was a new guy on the block. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I had to work my way, and be around long enough to even have a voice that was heard. You know what I'm saying? It was pretty much the majority rule, and I damn sure coming from New York wasn't a majority, and so
Right.
it played like that. And
So you had to find your voice within the group because they all grew up together. They
right,
all knew
you know
each
what I'm
other.
saying?
And it's like,
And
you
I'm the
coming
only
in to
one from the
replace a
Bronx,
member.
man.
Right.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So it was cool. They didn't make it hard for me. but it was what it was. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like they did anything malicious or nothing either.
They
But
just had a bond. They just
yeah,
already
they
had
had a
a bond.
bond. Yeah, they
Yeah.
had a bond, and it was cool, and I took it. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Because I just wanted to be a part of this situation.
Right.
So
Right.
I bit the bullet. You know what I'm saying? I bit the bullet until I was considered, till I was considered more of an equal, and not on paper, but just equally heard, equally,
Right.
as
Well,
a
you had to
brother.
put in that work. You had to definitely put in that work and get them to, find your place within that group. And you did that. Because, I mean, when you traveling with somebody all the time, you moved down there. So you was definitely living with them at that point. So, and
Right.
one of the singers of the group. So, I mean, so what is some of the things like I also the book is mainly focused on after unsung. So let's touch upon unsung because I know a lot of people probably saw unsung and they only saw whatever could fit into that time frame for
Hmm.
that show. And I like you. I know there's a lot of things that were cut out.
Hmm.
Like, is there anything that you want to mention that maybe you highlighted in your book you didn't really get a chance to really
Well,
have, in the show?
yeah. Well, there's a lot of things. And
Mm-hmm.
one of the things is that once again you got to remember that the book you, is you see high five through my eyes,
Right.
how I
Right.
seen it. You know what I'm saying? So everybody in the group, they got their own version of what they seen and how it was in the group. This is my version of how it was in High Five for me, coming from the Bronx and everything like that. So yeah, that's definitely where we at with that situation too.
Did you find it therapeutic to actually sit down and go through this whole book writing process? Did it help
Um,
you kind of resolve some things that you might not have known you was probably holding or something like did it help you with your reflection and coming to terms with certain things that, you might not have come to terms with back in the days?
um, I don't know yet.
Okay.
I would have to. I would have to, let time go. When I was writing it, there was some painful moments that I
Mhm.
had to relive and put it on paper. Um, but at the same time, I feel like when it comes to being therapeutic, I would have to give it some time. Like I said, writing it,
Okay.
yeah, I have to give it some time to see if it was therapeutic or not.
Okay. Well, I also want to show it, so Tristan, what happened when the music stopped? What happened? What was
Everything,
like where was
every
your mind at? What was you going through?
everything, man. I mean, when y'all read the book, I definitely touch bases on that. I didn't even know, what depression was at that particular time.
Mhm.
So yeah, I think when you guys read the book, you're gonna realize that, you know, that there was times where I felt like I was falling victim to the industry,
Mhm.
and just to life itself.
Mhm.
When people read the book, I want them to take with them that don't don't take God's mercy and grace that He puts on everybody's life. Don't take it for granted. You
Right.
know,
Right.
and that's what I want people to come by, because if when you read the book, you notice that it was only but God that got me out of certain situations,
Mhm.
and I realized that.
No, that's a powerful point because everybody's always looking at the finish line or the main goal, but appreciate and be grateful for the opportunities that are placed in front of you, and that God gives to you because I mean, that's almost like hitting a lotto for somebody to pull up on you and be like, look, I'm putting you in a group. You was
Man,
blessed in this game like early on. Like how did that happen? And not only it's not even a group from New York.
I
They took
know,
you to a whole nother state.
I
So
know, I
how they
know. That's
heard
crazy.
about you? You know what I'm saying? You was doing it. I know you was singing in school and church and things like that, but wow. And think about it that time back then when we was young. It's not like we had the internet and Facebook where people could see you singing. Like that was
Yeah,
real word of mouth. You know what I
it
mean?
was real. It was real word of
Real,
mouth.
real word of mouth for them to come down there. And you were
Yeah.
very fortunate. So I could
Yeah.
imagine, going from that and then things happening in the industry like that's out of your control, like management, contracts, things of that nature. Y'all are,
Oh yeah.
young kids, and y'all are falling victims, so to speak, to other people making
Hmm.
decisions. And then it's like, okay, when things don't fall in your favor, then what? And then outside of
Hmm.
that, y'all was having tragedies, like different situations with group members and changing accidents, all kinds of life lessons you was
Hmm.
learning during
Yeah.
this time trying to make music.
Yeah, and I touched on all that in the book. When
Okay,
you read
okay.
when you read the book, you see how it felt to to be in the car that day of the accident.
Wow.
Things like that. Where I was when I first got the phone call about what happened to Tony.
Right, right.
I touch on a lot of that on a lot of stuff um, pertaining to the group and things like that, and
I didn't even
contractual
realize,
stuff.
Tristan. I mean, not to
Mhm.
cut you off, but I didn't even realize that you up in Connecticut had an incident happen with you that was very serious.
Yeah, I touch on that
Right.
too.
I didn't bring it up. I didn't say what it was. You got to get the book to read it. But I
Yeah,
was
yeah,
like, oh
yeah,
my gosh, you know what I mean? When I found out recently
yeah,
about it.
yeah, yeah. So I mean, that was the part that's the part of the hiatus.
I get
But
it.
that's also to show you about God's grace and mercy.
Yes, yes.
See what I'm
That's
saying? So
confirmation.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So like I said, the book is a real book. I know other artists said that, that wrote written books and say it's real, but it's something about my book that's just different from everybody else's, man. You know what I'm saying? I believe my book is more realistic, you know, and I took the time to write it myself, like old school. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
I didn't find a ghostwriter or anything like that, or somebody to do the work for me. I
Right.
actually took the time out and used a pen, paper, blood, whatever I had. You know,
Hmm.
that's how I got it done.
I
You
could see it.
know,
I could see it in your eyes. Like this is real, real, real deep for you. I
yeah,
definitely can.
man, shit got real, man. And I,
Hmm.
and thou shalt not judge. That's all I got to say.
Right,
God is the
right,
ultimate judge. In that case, and but there's definitely some things that people and I, like I said, I had to be prepared for it, and I made myself. I think I'm prepared for it. I believe
hmm,
I'm prepared for it. And like I said, I wanted my own identity, outside of High Five, and I wanted
right,
to tap into other things, give it an opportunity that I never really took. Just knowing that I have opportunity and taking more advantage of opportunity is one of the things that I've learned that I didn't do when I was younger. Take advantage of the opportunity of time, you
right,
know, and
right.
and do something to prepare, you know, for the future and stuff like that. So now I'm a little bit older now,
Hmm.
so I think about
Hmm.
I'm thinking about other things. I'm thinking about certain things. I'm thinking about my kids. I'm thinking about my personal legacy.
Right,
And I mean,
right,
not just the group's legacy, but Trust and Irby's legacy. What am I leaving for my kids? When I'm leaving the world, you know what I'm saying?
right,
What's going on?
right.
I want to give the world something. You know what I'm saying? So,
No,
you
that's
know,
very important because right, we're not little kids anymore. You know what I mean? And
right?
it's like,
You know what I'm
right, we
saying?
grown people and we got
Right.
things to think about. So,
Right, and I'm
I,
ready to chill too. I'm ready, to take it easy, to relax a little bit, man. You know what I'm saying? Just get on the plane and just keep on going places and doing
right, and
shows and
living
doing things
life.
like that. Yeah, man, and just chill. I don't be want to argue no more. I don't have the time to be arguing and getting into debates and stuff. I'll give a debate like two minutes, man. On that third
Right.
minute, I'm like, you
It's
won.
over.
It's
Right.
good, whatever.
It's over.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. You
So
know what I
I must
mean?
have met you in the group at the resurgence
Yeah,
because y'all was out about, in my mind, outside looking in, I'm thinking y'all always like I didn't even know about a break. Like y'all, I didn't know about any of that. I just seen
yeah,
y'all out. You just figured people travel all over the world and you just don't see them for a little bit. I didn't realize that y'all were really just coming out and doing a lot of shows and everything all over again. So
Hmm.
before that was the hiatus. Everybody getting their grown man situations together, right? After the
Yeah, that's what you
industry,
want.
right?
If that's what you want to call it,
Oh
yeah.
no, well, is that
If
a good
that's
way
what
to
you want
put
to
it,
call it,
Justin?
I mean, shit. To be honest, man, that was.
What? Be honest.
I mean, all the honesty is in the book.
Okay, look, we getting that book. Where can they buy
All
the book?
all the honesty is in the book, man.
Tell
You
them
know,
where. Tell them where they can get the book.
well, if you go right now, we're doing pre-orders of the paperback right now. Autographed copies only on the website bxmostwanted.com. That's the only way you can get an autographed copy of the paperback. A pre-order, you can do that right now. But you could also go and pre-order the Kindle ebook on Amazon, and the book comes out June 29th on Amazon. Like I said, you could get an autograph uh, pre-order if you go to the website bxmostwanted.com. And yeah, straight
Yeah.
up. Yeah,
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 I'm good.
yeah.
I need to hear this full story because, like I said, you got to hear it from the member's mouth, not what you see on television, not what you see. You know, everybody like to put up their own videos of what they
Right,
find. No, get it
right,
straight from his mouth, okay?
right,
This his version of everything that took place within the group, and find out, what happened. Like you said, everybody has a story, and like he says, not to be offensive, is his story, is his truth. So
right,
I'm excited. I want to read it. We see people on television and in the media and stuff, and we connect with people more than we know. You know what I'm saying? Like we connect on a human and emotional level. I'm quite sure people will learn from your story. People will be able to relate to your story, and get and really walk away getting something from it, because I can see that it's heart. That
right,
I can
right,
see.
right. And I pray that even my peers who buy the book, out of support, they've been in the industry since they was younger, and I want them to listen to read it too, because you know sometimes you in you're an artist and you have a record out, and then one minute you don't, and like I said, sometimes they don't bounce back. You got people in our industry have taken their own life,
Right,
um, committed crimes and did things
right,
allegedly, out of depression, look, when you go from being up top and then next right down to the bottom, that could take effect on anybody.
of
You know what I'm
course,
saying?
of
It could
course.
it, it could drive anybody crazy that's not strong enough to handle it. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? And I think that
right.
my book is about strength too. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And once again, it's about it's about God and His mercy and keeping me strong enough to deal through to go through certain things, and like I said, his mercy for keeping his wings over me during some crazy times
Right, right,
that nobody know about,
right.
because
That's real.
trust don't talk about it. Trust never talked about it. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
But
right,
but but when you buy the book, you get to see certain and read certain things that's like, okay, well, damn, he did some. Damn, that's some real person shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
okay,
it doesn't
right.
even matter. It doesn't even, high five and kiss a game didn't even matter at that point. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
It's
mm-hmm.
like, yo, what if it was you that had to do certain things, or whatever? Didn't even know no better. You know what I'm saying? Before
Right,
I went, I had one job, like one real job, and I was at like working in the deli and shit, making
right,
sandwiches. You know
right.
what I'm
That's it. What does
saying?
a
Come on,
teenager
man.
do if you ain't
You
working
know what
at
I'm
Burger King
saying?
or something like that, right?
You
Oh yeah.
know,
Next thing
I
you know,
used
you
to
got
freaking.
you got millions of fans. You shooting music videos.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
You
it's like it's a whole
traveling and your mamas are at home, right? And you got these.
right,
Oh my
and,
gosh!
and, and and you're thinking that it's never going to end.
Right, right,
See what I'm saying?
right. Yeah, the
And that
industry will
that
lift you
that
up
that,
and it
that
will
that's
drop
when
you.
that's when you know what I'm saying. And
Hmm.
I don't want everybody. to think, high five is just, whoop de woo, or every member in high five is whoop de woo. Excuse me,
All
but
know
people
that.
people are real. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right, right. And you all trying to handle this. Everybody's young and trying to handle this. Like most of the time when you have managers, they work for you, you know?
It's
They
supposed
you
to be like
basically
that.
oh it's right. Right. I'm talking
Right.
about on the book wise, but I'm talking about they basically do what you tell them to do outside of whatever they do and contractually. I'm saying, but it's hard to find people that you can trust in the game. And, I was just looking at your excerpt from Amazon and I definitely wanted to read that real quick. But it says, everyone is human and go through things, and no one can truly judge anyone but God. When pushed in the corner, you must do what you have to do to survive. None of us are perfect, but know that God's mercy and grace should not be taken advantage of. This book is true and touches on subjects and things unsung did not mention. Not everything that glitters is gold. No judgment. So you're going to get the real talk, y'all. Make sure you support that book. Make sure you follow Treston Irby on all social media. I don't know if you could get in on Facebook because, he's already past the limit. It is a private
Yeah, I'm
page.
past the
But
limit.
if you
I'm
want to
past the
follow
limit.
him, you can definitely follow him on Instagram. And like you said, what is the website? www.bronxmost.com.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
BXMostWanted.com.
BX Most Wanted. Okay, make sure you go to BX Most Wanted. And is there anything? First of all, I'm fortunate to be your friend. I feel honored. Like every
Yeah, we
time I see
friends,
you,
man.
yeah, you laughing. You always have that good energy. I might feel sad if I read something sad in the book. I might be like, no, Justin, no. You know what I'm saying? Because you always smiling, and I always see you on stage, and I see your love to how you just love to do what you do. You know what I'm saying?
I
You
love
be
it.
you be on fire, like
I
I've
love
come
it.
backstage, I've interviewed the whole team, your whole group. Shout out to everyone in the group, like great guys and
Right,
real music and dance steps and routines. Like it's a real show. So if you ever get
right.
a chance to see High Five, make sure you get those tickets and go out and support them. Okay.
Yeah, well, I
Anything you
appreciate
want to
it.
say to people? I'm trusting before we end the show.
Yeah, I want to thank you and your whole crew for allowing me on your platform to reach the people, let them know
Anytime.
about the book Hiatus that's on Amazon right now. Pre-sales, Kindle ebook on Amazon right now. The paperback comes out June 29th, or you could go ahead and pre-order your paperback now on bxmostwanted.com, and you can get an autographed copy of it. And I want to just thank everybody who made the ebook uh, number one number one bestseller on Amazon. So I want to thank everybody.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah.
yes. That's
I want to thank
good.
yeah, I want to thank everybody for doing that, and showing that they want to read the story. And shout out to my whole team, the Bronx Most Wanted Entertainment team, and everybody that's in the book that played a part in my life. I thank you because y'all all have something to do with me being the person that I am right now. So I thank you guys, and y'all go ahead and read the book, man, and remember, thou shalt not judge, man. And remember, most names are changed to
Right, right.
protect the innocent and the guilty. So,
Right, right.
uh,
Good. That is very good. All right, but we're gonna
yeah.
go to a throwback video from High Five, and don't go nowhere, y'all. We'll be right back. We have more show. And thank you, Trust. See you
Thank you.
soon. Okay.
I
Let's check out this
appreciate it.
video. I appreciate you. Thank
All
you
right, now. I
for
love you
joining
now.
me. Love you too.
Bye bye,
Yeah.
y'all. Peace.
I told you this is going to be a great show today. Again, I'm talking to two artists that branched out and started doing different things. So, help me welcome my next guest, Mr. Ed Papers from the NYC. He is here joining me today. Hi, Ed.
How you doing, CoCo?
I'm doing well, thank you. And yeah, I'm just talking about, like you yourself, you started out in music as AKA Tricky T, and
Absolutely.
So, and you ended up branching off into a whole nother lane as far as the promotion lane here in New York City. So let's talk about, you could give us some background on you and how you transitioned. What made you decide to leave the music industry and then end up being like one of New York City's top promoters,
Well, it's a long story. It dates back to like 1983 when I joined a group called Just Four from Yonkers, and we wound up doing music. We were actually on Grand Groove Records, and we did two singles called "Girls of the World" and "Jam to Remember." God can Google that.
Okay.
Yeah. Rest in peace to my man JC, who actually was one of the members. JC was Imperial. JC was one of the original Herculoids who used to DJ for Kool Herc, but he did make he made 3 historical records, 2 with me, and once I left the group, he wound up making another record with another member.
I'm learning something new today. Okay, I did not know that. Okay.
Yeah. So moving forward to 85, I decided to go solo, and I met this guy named Roman Ricardo, who used to DJ at the Roxy back in the days, and he was rolling with this guy named Vito Bruno, who actually still exists today. He owns this management company called AMPM Management. We wound up going to Wisconsin to do a show. Thanks to Africa Bambaataa, needed somebody to go out to Wisconsin with Roman Ricardo. So he asked me, was I available? And I actually was available. So we wound up going to Wisconsin, and we did a show at this college called the University of Green Bay, Wisconsin. And it was consist of me, Africa Islam, 2 break dances, graffiti. It was a whole package, a whole hip hop package.
Nice.
So we wound up doing that. We turned that out. In return, Roman Ricardo, who actually liked what I was doing, happened to know somebody who owned a record label. His name was Will Sakharov, president of Sleeping Bag Records.
Right.
Moving forward, I did a demo. He happened to like the demo. I worked with Mantronics, and rest is history. First
Johnny
single
the Fox, right? That's how Johnny the Fox came out, right?
Yes, Johnny the Fox came out in 1985. In return, I did a follow-up with Sam Sever, who actually was down with Def Jam, had a group called Downtown Science. I worked with him and did Leave It to the Drums, and I Got It Good. The rest is history.
Wow, I did. I learned something today, y'all. I definitely did. Just now. So then what led you into party promotions? Like, how did the music lead you to this lane?
Yeah. So, back then, I had plenty of opportunities to either shout out to Tyrone Williams from Cold Chillin', because I probably would have been one of the Juice Crew members if I decided if I would have converted over to Cold Chillin'. He wanted to sign me at some point over at Cold Chillin', so my life would have been probably a little bit different as of today. But I wound up staying with Sleeping Bag, and like I said, rest is history. Now going into converting over to what I'm doing now, which is promoting, I just decided to take another turn to it because, even though, I could have continued to pursue my music career, I just had a knack for just like bringing people together and just having a good time. So, back in late 90s, early 2000s, I decided that I was going to step out of faith and say, you know what, I'm going to jump into the promoting lane, and I've been doing it ever since.
You've been with so many teams. I've seen you solo. I see you with the Dynasty. I see you teaming up with Isaiah. Like you have different people that you team up with and you do parties with. Like,
Yeah.
How does that work for you? Is it like different concepts you like to work with different people? Like, what is your formula? What's your strategy when it comes to who you decide that you want to team up with?
Well, first of all, I want to shout out to Dave Shue and
Oh
Mike B.
yeah.
Alpino and all the Dynasty members. I happened to grow up with Dave Shue back in the days. I know that this is what he was doing, but I happened to jump into the arena.
Right.
Yeah. It's just a matter of consistency, team effort. It's just a matter of, it just has to be the right formula in order for me
Right.
to proceed doing what I do.
Right. I mean, I've seen color events, you know, all kinds of themes. Now y'all taking it out of state. Y'all doing events, you know, all different Atlanta and all these different places. You just came from where? Tampa, you know,
Yeah.
with the Hookie Day, which is a big success here in New York. You know, so I see that you really have to be creative as well, right? Because you always
Yeah.
want to bring something a little different to the crowds to keep them enticed and wanting to come and party with you, right?
Absolutely. I try to be a trendsetter. If you look at my track record, it started off back in several years ago. Let's say 10 years ago, in fact.
Right about that.
2012. I teamed up with this young lady, Just Star, and we decided to do a thing called Martini Mondays, which everybody laughed at and said that Mondays would never work because it's a work day. It's the beginning of the work week, and that Mondays would just never work. But I always learned that you don't follow what people say. You just do what you got to do,
Right.
and everything else will take care of itself. So with that being said, yes, the first couple of weeks was kind of a little shaky.
A little rough, right?
But yeah, but I think after the third week, fourth week, doing Martini Mondays, it exploded, and it's been exploding since. And as we speak today, Martini Mondays, we just had 10th year anniversary, and Martini Mondays is still exploded. Yes.
Yes, no, that was a hard concept too. Like you said, I know we had to talk about it, but look, I was so surprised. You had me coming out on Mondays with Funk Flex, Red Alert. It's all about the formula. You make it work. You know how to do it, Ed.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I've got a lot of laugh tracks, and you know, even bringing Flex to OZ, people said I wasn't going to do it. He's BS, and that's not going to happen until they heard it on the radio 1,000 times that he was going to be at OZ. And I'll never forget that night. I was like right around Christmas time when we had him and LA Love together, and that was a historical night at the OZ Tavern.
Historical. Yes.
You know, I've been hiring Flex ever since then, along with DJ Mr. C. I've had Big Lou. I've had Red Alert, Chuck Chill Out. I mean, I've had all the top,
the greats, yes.
New York City DJs at OZ Tavern, DJ Bedrock. I had Lady D Wells. I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on and on and on. Now,
you work with all the power hitters in New York, to tell you the truth, that I know of. Yes,
I'm trying to be humble with it, but yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So,
wait, I have to congratulate you though. You just got a big award. You know, shout out to the Aquarius boys, the Art of Rap. They came through and they gave awards to the top promoters in New York City. So let's show this award real quick from Mr. E. Ed Papers, right? Well deserved. And a lot of time, and we talking about Monday nights. We talk about different nights of the week. This man is out, holding full-time job out here, making sure that the people, when they get off work, they got a place to go to, relax, kick back, good food, good atmosphere, and good music. So shout out to you, First Class Entertainment, the Promoters Ball Award. It's well deserved. And shout out to everyone else that won, K Mel and K Sean, Sony, like all of them are out here definitely hitting the pavement and making moves. But I'm sorry, I just wanted to make sure we got that.
Well, I appreciate that acknowledgement. Yes. And shout out to all the promoters that got the award that night as well. Shout out to Denny Moe, Terrence, Wide Open Entertainment. Shout out to K-Mel from Brooklyn, and a few others, that came out to receive their award.
Yes.
Now going back to what we were talking about, I think thinking out the box. Once again, my mind is always churning, always wondering what. Because I'm a Virgo, so this is what Virgos do.
Yes,
analyze,
get all the little details out.
Yeah, we kind of like just like try to think out the box and see what can we dip and dab in. So one day I decided I was just thinking, and I was saying to myself, us as people, we work hard every goddamn day. We work hard. We work hard. And I said, I think this should be a day within the week that we decide that we need to celebrate ourselves because we deserve it. So I said to myself, I think I'm going to try this thing. I think I'm going to play hooky from work one day.
Oh, that's how it came about?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. This is the beginning thoughts, y'all, right here.
So originally, when I launched the idea, rest in peace to 914, Mr. 914. He happened to like this idea, and shout out to my man Big Low and Big Unk. We call himself the twins, the disaster twins. Uh-huh. They kind of like the idea or whatever. And I said, well, you know what? Let me try this thing at City Island. I said, let me try to congregate everybody to come hang out at Seafood City at City Island. And sure enough, once it was said and put out there in the universe, everybody was very receptive to it. And at the end of the day, man, I must have had about 300-400 people out there at City Island hanging out. And that was the start of Hooky Day right there.
I was there.
It got so big. I want to shout out to Rita Flowers because Rita Flowers gave me the idea. She told me, she said, boy, she said, this thing is getting big. She said, you got to take it up out of here. So I said, Rita, so what should I do? She said, you should take it to the park. Take it to the park, damn it. Take it to the park. She said, you should do it on a Friday. So I said, you know what? Next year I'm going to do that. And sure enough, I looked into it. And then it was born like 3 years later. 3 years ago. I said, you know what? We're going to take this to Ferry Point Park in the Bronx. And sure enough, we did that. Shout out to Kid U, who's been my DJ ever since. And it's been crazy. And now it's like 600, 700, 800 people that come out for this Hooky Day event.
Huge.
Yeah.
Right.
And in extension to that, I just started this year, I started Hooky Day weekend, which consists of just going away for a weekend and having a good time. Which this year we went to Tampa, Florida, which we had a big pool party. We had a big I worked it out with the club guys out there and the DJ, so we had a big thing at the club, and then we also had a big comedy show.
Nice.
And that's what we were doing, and looking forward to next year, which we'll be going to Myrtle Beach.
Nice. You see, that's why I had to bring him on and give him some salutes and some flowers right now, because you got to be creative. That's how you stand out from all the other promoters, because there's a lot of promoters within every city, I'm quite sure. And in New York, the competition is, heavy, because everybody's like trying to jump in and do promotions and stuff like that. But when you got the right formula, you don't have to worry about that, right? Ed Papers, you don't have to worry about that.
It's just thinking out the box, trying to do different things. You do your homework like everything else. You just do your homework. That's just like making a song. You say, okay, well, this person, he's rapping about the club. This one's rapping about getting money. This one is rapping about struggling. So then you say to yourself, okay, well, since they're in that lane, well, all right, how about if I make a song about something? I don't know, anything aside what everybody else is doing.
Right. That's what makes different you stand out from everybody else. Exactly. But like I said, you look like you love it. I always, when I come to your events, I see your face. When you see people having a good time, I see that you feel like you did your job, you know, and you feel good about that. And you're very social. You make sure you go around, you talk to your guests. And these are some of the characteristics you have to have. It's not all about the money and packing
No.
people in the building. It's about being personable with everyone, you know, and
Yeah,
making sure that everybody that supports you is having a good time. That's how you keep that loyalty and that longevity with what you're doing, correct?
absolutely, absolutely.
Right,
I mean,
right,
I've had successful parties, I had unsuccessful parties, but in the same time, I've had, whereas I just make sure everybody's okay. I make sure everybody's
right,
cool. I hope everybody having
right,
a good time because, they took their time out and, supported me. So I got to make sure that I take my time out to find out if they're okay.
right,
So even if I have 600 people in the building, or if I had 60 people in the building, I'll make sure everybody's okay. And
right.
always remember, E-Papers he pays their DJs. For every DJ that I hire, they get paid
Okay, well, I'm not sure
all
about
the
that
time.
one. Look, I'm not sure about whether there's 5 people or 50, right? They are 500. They getting paid, and that's how it should be because they
I,
showed up on time and did their job. So and shouldn't have to do nothing with your crowd. I definitely like that you highlighted that fact. Now,
yeah.
I'm sorry we got such short amount of time. I'm gonna have you come back on. Let people know where they can find you and what's your upcoming events that you want to promote.
Okay, real quick. You can find me on Instagram under E-Papers, EPAPERS. On Instagram, you can find me on the Ed Papers on Facebook, EDPAPERS on Facebook. My next project that I'm doing will be my annual first class barbecue, my 18th annual first class barbecue, dedicated to my man Harlem Cujo. That will be the third Saturday in August. Remember, the third Saturday in August. Okay, that will be at Ferry Point Park. The guys come on out. We're gonna have plenty of food, drinks. We socialize, do whatever we're gonna do, and then
You're
following.
gonna have a good time. I'm telling you.
Yes,
You're
and
gonna have a
following
good
that, I'll be
time.
having my. I'm having a black and white affair on September 10th at the Garage in the Bronx for my birthday. September 10th at the Garage nightclub, and on the 24th, following that, I'm gonna have a boat ride with Dave Shoe on the 24th of September.
There we go, y'all. They don't play. You got to plan. You have to plan because you know what? People be popping out. Get that money early, right? Before other people start jumping out.
Hey, listen, especially for my birthday, this is June going into July, and I have about 7 birthdays up already
Oh
for my
my
birthday.
gosh. Look
Yeah,
at
shout
that,
out to
y'all.
all my
It's a
Virgo
formula.
followers. Yes.
Shout out to all the Virgos that's coming out to celebrate. Fortunately, we are out of time. I wanted to play Johnny the Fox and all that. But again, I wanted to bring you on. You are my friend. I want to say salute to you, congratulate you. I'm so happy and proud of you because you're a good person and you out here making people happy. So I'm so proud of you for that. I've watched you grow from Martini Monday from the start all the way to now, and I'm following the move. So salute
Yeah.
to you, and they're giving me the second countdown. All right, y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed the show. Make sure you follow Ed Papers on Facebook, E-Papers on Instagram. Make sure you come out and support his upcoming events. Support your promoters that's out here working hard. Support Treston Irby. Make sure you get his book as well. Follow him on Instagram. And I hope you enjoyed the show. And again, we support and we highlight positive people doing positive things. Make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube and support us as well. Good night, y'all. This is your girl, Debra CoCo, signing out.